Alright. Dinner food. Eaten at an alarming rate. Very fast to get back to the stream here. Let me raise up the mic, actually. I'm gonna raise it up higher. There we go. And then we can get comfortable and play Citizen Sleeper for a bit. I can't guarantee a certain amount of time, but at least a bit. I'm on cycle 20. Unless there's some menu that I'm not seeing. I was curious during the last stream of this that I was like, is there a screen that tells me what cycle I'm on? Other than the loading screen thing here? Other than that screen? Don't know. Alright, I think I had just slept to get new dice, I think is what we did. Okay. Yeah. I've got some good dice here. Those are some solid 3 6s. Oh, he's gonna be coming back, isn't he? Okay, I know we had kind of come up here. I'm trying to get back to where we were by the end of... We've got full health. We need some money because we're gonna have to buy, you know, another one of these at some point. But they're a lot cheaper now. It's only 64 because we have the reduced amount of money. It was already, it got reduced down to, I think, 80 from 100. And then reduced again another 20% after that because of our ability, which is good. I do kind of want to help finish this bar off. So I'm going to stick in a 4. Neutral. Just neutral, the game says. Alright, I will stick a 6 in then. Bam! That's 2. Tala comes... I forget that I'm supposed to be reading things after. Tala comes to you for a bit and chats to you about her plans with Overlook. A second pair of hands makes the work go easier. Okay, let's all... If we've got 6s, we should also try to just make some money with them. I think that was this random bit of data I just picked up randomly and didn't know what to necessarily do with it. So that's my bad. That was like early on when I didn't know what I was doing when I was hacking shit. It was only until really the second stream, I think, where I was like, oh, you're specifically going to like this thing to pick up very particular bits of like data that you need to complete missions, and I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'll just randomly hack shit for the hell of it. I'll hack just because I can. I still think working here is the best thing. We get some good money. Shortcut across bridge means 3 happy customers and 3 big tips. You start to understand the makeshift unit markings. And then I'm going to go across, and I'll use one of my 6s on... Going green. Going green, going green. Minus condition, minus energy. Simplest way to explore the Greenway is simply to pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. putting a 6 in there to guarantee good outcome. Ooh, got an energy and 3 going green. There we go. Huge. Okay, halfway filled that. I think I'm going to use the 2 to make more money again. Unless something here is good. I could lose the energy that I just got. Potentially here. I'm going to try this, actually. Fuck it. Live dangerously. Positive. Woo! And I got the perk for, all right, I got 2 energies I wasn't thinking I was going to be getting, so that's really good. Good stuff. Okay, end cycle then. Good round. Good first round. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, first round. Yeah, good answer. Good answer. 3, 1, 6, 2, 3. All right, not as solid as dice, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I ate so quick. I'm trying not to like be gross and like burp into the mic. I ate faster than probably advised. Oh, I found a thing. Paz import export. Sell shit mined. You can sell. Paz says she has a contract who will take a contract. Has a contract who will take ship mines. Is that supposed to be contact? But she reminds you any shipment or ship mine from the eye fetches a lower price. 150 cryo for that. Export Matsutake. Take that out of Star Belt, but only in bulk. 80 cryo for 3 batches. Oh, so this is like buy ship mine core. Paz claims the ship mine was salvaged from a Solheim. Okay, so interesting little. And this was because I think I did this thing. Because as we've seen, like, as you explore areas, then more, you know, NPCs or, like, more interactable, like, stalls selling merchants and shit will reveal. So this would have been nice to see. I mean, 240 is expensive as shit, but when I was really needing a ship mine earlier, it would have been nice. Earlier. If I say so myself. This guy's working his way. Wait a sec. Buy some scrap. I kind of just need more money. I don't need to buy at the moment. I'm putting in a 4. Positive, nice. Very good, very good. Wait, what? And what's available in this? Oh, this is the yet again insider. Okay. What I'm now we're in our 3rd stream. I'm very curious if there's like an ultimate timer to this game. Is there only an end game if we do something bad to the point where we die, or if you sustain yourself well enough and basically can cycle healing yourself up, getting money for food, and then very slowly chipping away at these quests? Like, I'm curious to see if you could just take the quests at your own time as long as you're sustainable enough and making smart like moves with your dice. I would like to think that's the case because I'm actually very interested in like seeing the outcomes of like all these little, basically these drives. And clearly we've had drives that are like on a timer, but as long as it feels, I don't want to, obviously I'm not an expert, but it feels as if as long as you take care of those before the timer runs out, and which we've had up to this point, that we're not missing anything so far. And if there is a timer and you want to do it, make sure you basically take care of it before something bad happens or it goes away. I'm gonna put a lower dice into here. I'm putting the 2 into a 3. Another positive. Look at that. Oh, one away. One away. All right, let's get more money. Minus energy and only 4 cryo. Oh, but I think I got back 1 energy for doing the engage thing, so it equaled out again. So that wasn't great. That's not great, because we're going to have to buy food next turn, assuming I don't get more energy here. Farm stacks. Vertical farms. Energy, cryo, work the stacks. Repeatable action, barter for food. Farming collective who control the stacks don't like to sell their food piecemeal, but for the right price, they'll let it go. Huh. Steal the harvest. There's loads of food here. Why should these farmers keep it to themselves? If you can do it quickly, they might not even notice it's gone. So potential minus condition, but a bunch of energy. And then if you get caught stealing, there's no way you'll be able to work in the stacks. It's as simple as that. This is like the one, even if I am almost like morally, I'm like, this seems wrong to steal. Like even if I was not going to get caught. And clearly it's like that one thing. What was that? There was another thing earlier in the game where once I did like a thing a couple times, then it like just completely closed off an option. So now I'm like, some farm stacks from the old station have survived, and the farmers that work them are always looking for new workers. They pay by yield. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to put in a 6 to see the best outcome. 16 cryo. Nice, 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 nice. And now I'll put in... I'll buy food. I want to see how much it gets us. Plus 2 energy and minus 13. Okay, that's good. I basically worked and then got my food. And now I have a 1. What would I want to use a 1 on? Is there any good, like, safe option? I should be looking for safe options. I feel like I mostly see risky and danger. If I could put it into a safe, I'd be... Oh, here we go. Noodle manufacturer. But that's for energy, and I don't need that right now. I'm working on getting you your mushrooms. Don't worry. Put a 2 in there. Not really exactly a 1 becoming a 2. I could haggle over a price. And it's safe. Or I take the 1 and just throw it in here and get maybe 1 energy back. Tough. This just gets a scrap. And I don't want to lose condition. It's just like, I don't know what to put this 1 into. I could lose energy, a lot of energy. I'm gonna try this. Fuck it. Live fast, die young. No, you took those hits real bad. A passageway spirals you around the spoke in a wide curve, and the process is exhausting. Finding your way back makes things worse. Yep, that was bad. That sucked. Bad outcome. We had to take risks. Three, 2, 6, 4, 3. We're gonna have to buy food. Let's do that first. I think it helps me to like, well, the reason not to do it first would be like, obviously you might get energy from other sources, but I'm just gonna get my food so I know what I'm working with here. That's fine for now. Let's go try to finish up the bar. Yeah, I just want to make sure we get it. Fitting the coil into the still proves tricky, but you managed to figure out a process. You just hope the finished things work. Bam. Bam. There we go, Tala. Tala stands back from the newly finished still and tub, hands on hips. Look at this! She grins. The Overlook Distillery in all its glory. She squeezes you around the shoulders. Thank you! What next? There's an issue. What's the problem? Well, Girol the drink, as you probably guessed, is named after Girol the mushroom. That's what gives it that golden color and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with the mushrooms along with a mix of spices. That means you need Girol caps to make Girol. I don't know if I'm ever saying that right, but no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. She smiles. We can grow our Girol caps here. She gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. Are you sure? Totally sure. Tala puts a hand on the still. We made a still. We set all this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? Famous last words. They don't need light. They barely need soil. We can do this. She pauses. Or at least we could, if we had something to grow them from. I see where this is going. She rolls her eyes. Okay, yes, I need a favor. She puts a hand on your shoulder. And you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You built the still. You're great with plants. You know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? Dude, for Tala, I would do anything. Let's be real. Are you flattering me? If it's working, then yes. She grins sheepishly. Look, I can't leave the bar, and the other people picking up shifts. She grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Fine. Wonderful. You'll love it over on the Greenway, I think. All the fresh air, open space. She sees your expression. Okay, I'm done. She turns back to look at the still and the fledgling distillery forming around it. It really is something, though, isn't it? And want to or not, you really have to agree. Cute. All right, we got this bar going. It's happening. Now we need spores. Mushroom farm will make the back room of the Overlook into a miniature Girol factory. Okay, so we need 3 probably. Okay. I gotta get the fucking spores. I gotta go out the Greenway. I got this. I'll get these spores. Lickety split. Probably get by doing this then. I'm gonna put a 6 in for the hopefully the best outcome here, and then get this filled. You find your way into a well-kept pathway between encampments, where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. New drive discovered. What's the new drive? Grow mushrooms. Mushroom groves. The aviary. Let's see both of these. Wait, let me check the aviary first. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. Huh. Sunlit refuge. Can turn into a garden of sorts. And it's a safe mission. But I'm very committed to getting these mushrooms grown. Or back at this distillery. Forage for fungus. I don't... Uh-oh. 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 Into it. Damn. I have to get into it up. Hey. Positive outcome. 2 spores. That's good. That's actually... Okay, we're cooking here. Again, this being such a... This seems like something bad obviously is gonna happen, but... Oh, dude, I'm... Honestly, every stream of this game, I'm getting more and more into its systems. I think this game is really excellent. It's so simplistic, but it's such a, like such a smart and addictive formula of, like, all right, I'm gonna take my dice here. It's like so smart to have, like, see what your dice are at the beginning of a day, and then being like, all right, I know I have all these tasks to do, and even though it's nerve-wracking, like, I know what I want to accomplish, and I'm gonna take my chance and do my risks, like, take my chances here. Know when to hold them, when to fold them. Alright, let me put the other one in here. Okay, so I do need some money because, not immediately, but again, I'm gonna have to buy another round of this. Probably, in theory, before I fall down to just 3 dice. I never, if I can help it, I never want to sink down below 3 dice or below. Because then I think we start getting into trouble. I think it's like compounding problems if you're not getting a lot of actions in a single cycle. So I'm gonna work... at the farm stacks. Because it's safe. I like safe outcomes. I'm putting my 2 in there. Come on. Hey, neutral 11. You tend your stacks, learning by watching the others and getting good yields, even if the process is a little slower than you'd like. I'm gonna put a 3 in there. Positive. Cycling the stacks, checking feed and water lines, replacing bulbs. Your familiarity with the rhymes of the stacks means your yields are high. Oh, we're so good. All right, we're going down to 4 dice next cycle, but we're fine with that. Oh wait, I had to look down at my phone. Let me see, what is this notification? What is this? Okay. Now we must rest. Boom. 5113. 5113. Let's go get our last mushroom. Wait, you can grow mushrooms here somehow? Oh, I guess that would make sense if it's like... Positive, nice. You find a chamber thick with pale particles. You gather as many as you can, unsure what species or types might be in the mix. We got him. And we have an extra one. What can I do with my extra spore? Pawn off my spore to someone? Tala has enough spores now. Time to put the Overlooked Distillery into action. Is it just on a timer, right? Yeah, first batch. Has locked herself away in the back room while she focuses. It's gonna be 6 turns. Okay. I have to buy food. Instead of buying, I'm basically using a dice. Ooh, I got 5 cryo and 2 energy from that. That was really good. So basically, I have the option as of right now. I can use, obviously, money to buy food or take a chance. But it's a safe... The noodle manufacturer being safe, and at worst, giving us just 1 energy, means I can just take a 1 dice, stick it in, and basically be fine with, like... And having, like, a fit... Like... It's good. If I'm needing food, I should probably go there with, like, if I have, like, especially low dice. I'm gonna stick a 1 in here. Again, it's safe, so. Negative outcome plus just 1 sunlit refuge. The layers of growth are overwhelming and the stench of the rot just distressing. You do what you can for now. That's fine. What to do with a 5, though? That's just doing its own thing. I actually probably should do 1 more round of money to then buy the thing. Neutral plus 11. 10 to your stacks. You learn. Okay, let's go buy it. But I'll sit on 4 dice for a bit. I'm fine with that. Oh, I'll bring it down to just 1. Chiro takes the chits and hands you a vial. You quickly leave. Two, 1, 4, 4. 2, 1, 4, 4. This is coming up slowly, slowly. Probably need to get back to making some money. Can I sell the ship mine that has the thing in it? The imprinted ship mine. Am I gonna need this for anything else? Because there's not a drive that points to what it is, but I thought at the end of the thing it said that I could do something with it, but I mean, I wouldn't sell it, even if I could. But I was curious to check if it was an available option. My guess is if the distillery can make fungus for us, then that means then we can take fungus just from there and give it to Emphas. And I wouldn't have to even worry about foraging for fungus here. As like I just won't have to do that. Let's do this. +1 for the engage. Newcomers to the commune can work within the canteen preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. I'm putting a 2 in there. Huh! Neutral, +2. You watch as commune members come and go to the canteen, shouting to each other and mixing freely. Feels good to serve them. New drive. Oh, join the Haifa commune. Huh. Interesting. Oh, welcome. Yeah, that's the DLC thing. I think we do that later, right? Like, it says, completing that will begin the episode, but be aware that it's intended for late gameplay. Right. I read that weird. Late gameplay. Late gameplay. Which, I don't know what late is at this point, but I don't feel good going into it anyway at the moment. I don't know how this game handles, like, the end of itself or anything. So I don't know if that's, like, at some point I gotta just choose to do this, or I don't know if it locks me out. That kind of scares me, having to think about how this game ends. A 4-1-1. Should probably be working. Ooh, +3 energy and 8 cryo. You extrude batch after batch of noodles, slowing them into tangled nets. And you slips you a few extra chits with your portion. Ooh, so good. I'm trying not to be bouncing back and forth so much, but I keep forgetting that I need to... Yeah, I'm not going to try stealing from them. Negative outcome, just 6. That's fine. A fault in your assigned stock. Cost you a whole crop and your yield is small at the end of the cycle. Next time you'll double check. I'll double check next time. I'm gonna collect tithes. Whoop. Energy, plus energy, and plus the Atigan Insider. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's up to 2. It's working its way. Working my way downtown. And I'm homebound. Alright, that's still going. This is gonna happen in 2 more cycles. Whatever it is. Put a 3 in here. 3 becoming 4. Plus energy plus yet again insider. Okay. It's happening. I'll stick a 2 in as well. I'm feeling it. Scrap components, yet again insider. Some scrap. That's some money for us, basically. I have a 6. What do I want to do with a 6? Something good. Something big. I'm gonna work the canteen again here with the 3. Plus 2. You watch as commune members come and go to the canteen, shouting at each other and mixing freely. It feels good to serve them. Can't do that. Oh, this is the tracking Ashton thing. I forgot. Well, it's not that I forgot about this mission, but... Yeah. Positive, of course. You notice a spike of activity, a vast transfer of information taking place. What is happening out there? What is happening out there? Slowly chipping away. One, 6, 4, 5, and we're probably gonna use a stabilizer unless we get like some kind of condition through our actions here. Next turn, that timer is up. I'm gonna stick a 6 in this thing, trying to find. And by 6, I mean I'm gonna stick a 5 because it becomes a 6. You notice a spike of activity. Let's go! The trail ahead extends deep into an overgrown section of the greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the greenway becomes a shattered landscape at the waist, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen, brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Go alone is an option? I call Ankita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? I mean, if he's not here, and then she's pissed I called her over, I mean, I'm doing her a favor. Yes, come now. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. Static cuts out. Channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile, despite everything. Seems like an improvement. Sleeper, Kita's hiss brings you out of your reverie. Here in the collapsed stack? Or he in the collapsed stack? I think so. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Nikita somehow seems to know where to go. Nikita works her way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting and you desperately want to rest, but Nikita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there's a faint glow from the collapsed stack. Nikita leads you around the side of a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up to the slanted tank, Nikita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale and sickly green. Nikita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet, mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful. For a moment, you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. A cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Nikita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mind, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Wait. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she's already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit! You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Nikita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here, I'll rip this right out of their head, she screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stop! Quiet, sleeper, Nikita shouts. A shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Do that again, I swear to God, I'll tear their head off, Nikita shouts to them. Sleeper, you stay down! There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of the water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out. I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Ankita shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to here, Ashton, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita. It isn't like that. I needed the ship mine. You have to understand. It would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mine and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it, for your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there? They're just bait, right? To draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I loved them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton, Ankita snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he inches closer. Please. I can't let you take it, Ashton. Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. This is heavy. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship mine and go. Ankita loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There's no sign of life, of humanity. They're just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. Oh. Well. Where'd she go? Was it still back up there and I just passed it by? It might take like a day. I'm just like speechless. Let's see, what are we gonna do here? Put a 5 in here and then finish this. Do that. Oh, neutral outcome. Finish the spoke climber, but lost in energy. You spend hours on a staircase that never seemed to end. When you reach its peak, the view is incredible, but you feel the pain. Ascender car. Take the Ascender's car to the eye's central hub. Ooh, oh, we're going up. Oh shit, 3 new things. A plethora of, oh, we can spin it too. Alright, so we have the hub, we got AE1 mainframe, and Descender's car. Oh, well, that would be going down, right? So 2 new things, really. What's this? A1 mainframe. Access the mainframe. The A1 mainframe is now mostly disused. Haven Age having set up their own master controllers. Navigator thinks killers hiding there. Navigator thinks killers hiding there. Oh, this is... Oh! This is with the fucking dude. Alright. I just had to get up here. I was like, there's got to be something, if it's still in our inventory, that we can do with this. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking. You slot Navigator in the clamps lock. In the clamps lock, the ship mine is stuck. How are you going to get them out of this thing? Here we go. Whoa. We're in the cloud. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigators beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off, a rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here? Quiet, Navigator hisses, and then you see it, like a blade in the dark, an edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. What is it? Oh! The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head, like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Also, I probably thought of this last stream too, but I can't look at the Navigator icon, like picture there, and not see that fucking meme of like the wizard pondering his orb. Anyway. Navigator's noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever's drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. Get out! You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps brings them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of powered data. Break these, and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear, an afterimage that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Killer is a terrifying, blind threat roaming the hub's dark mainframe, and Neovend is trapped in their domain. So this is definitely on a timer. Well, well, well. So it's 3. So 3 locks. This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding in the mainframe. Unlock that so you might be able to break them. So I don't have already. I unfortunately only have 2 dice. And if I don't have the right numbers... Five and 3. Uh-oh. This node is connected to a remote array and buzzes as it picks up the drive signatures of passing ships. This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding in the mainframe, and lock access, you might be able to break them. Is this on a timer, do we know? Weightless Wanderer. I'm trying to just see if they're... I'm like desperate to make sure we don't fuck this up. But I can't with a 1. We'll have to hopefully get a nice spread of dice for next turn. Neutral outcome. 11 cryo. Alright, next turn we'll have to buy food probably. This is gonna pop up. And yeah, we gotta save Neovend. Gonna inject. Nice. Okay. End cycle. Oh boy. A 6, 3, 5, 5, 3. Uh-oh. Oh, he looks different slightly. Has he cleaned up? You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. Wait, why can't... It's not allowing me to pick no. I'm pushing down once, and then it's going up to no. Or walk away. Can I quickly hit no? Why is my game freaking out? You miss me? I'm gonna say no. You look at him. He's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye. Oh, now it's not having that problem. I don't know if that was a problem or game design was doing that on purpose. Hard to tell. You look at him. He's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Question mark. Well, he pauses. Colleague? He smiles weakly. This is big, really big stuff. About you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember how, now how S&ARP canceled the contract on you? Contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me? I lost everything. But let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what did you think? That was it? Staying silent. Well, it was. Except, Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old S&ARP gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who is even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. Who? Ethan grins. That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. It turns out S&ARP canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. Seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well in their last contract that they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently he made a hit on the ship called the Winter Wonderland, or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S&ARP's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship. Ethan whistles. They called him Hemwick, or Maywick, or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean Winter Light? That's it! He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this. Pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, seems like you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. Turns out I upset some people at the compressor last time we were there. The owners. And they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Why don't you just work off the debt then? Honestly. Seems that they're that kind of businessmen, he grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. I'm gonna tell him it, then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours, he sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us, he jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. A straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. I'll think about it. Ethan nods. I'm at the compressor. Every cycle. Working. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed SNRP shit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Honestly, a very interesting character. I thought he was gonna be just obnoxious kind of thing, deal. But actually, the kind of interesting aspect, like, mostly, other than that first guy that kind of told me to piss off at the beginning, who I thought me and him were friends, other than that guy, like, most of the NPCs that we've been working with have been, like, kind of chill and nice. Mostly. The ones that we're working with, right? But this guy's... the way he's written is actually quite interesting. Okay, so what's at the compressor then? Ethan's debt. Work the back. Oh, so I basically work for him. Well, not work for him to then... I see. But at least I just wanted to make sure it's not like on a timer type deal. Both are dangerous though. Interesting. Very interesting. I am starving. But I'm first gonna take my dice to... Oh, I think I was supposed to... I gotta help Navigator. It may or may not be on a timer, but like I feel nervous having that just sit around. Okay, so this is what? 4-3. And this is 5, right? 5-3. This node is part of Solheim's ship internal systems, welded to the hub as a makeshift dwelling. Let's go. Oh. Cloud. A giant, like a light traveling along the edge of a wave, fills your eyes. Then the blade follows, a long head with 2 dead sockets slipping toward you in silence. You freeze, hoping it'll pass you by, hoping that it'll not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you. Almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark, and you are alone again. Now you cry out. Oh, I lost an energy. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, and then we're gonna stick 3 in here. This node is barely visible, just an access key left on some long-forgotten desk in a sealed Solheim office. Extract it! We're good. This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding the mainframe, unlock access, and you might be able to break them. Wait, did I not already do this one? This branch has been unlocked. Oh. Do they all have that definition? Oh, they all have that one. Okay. I was like, I wanted to make sure there's not some way to fuck this up. There's that. And here's this. I got you, Navigator. I got you. Oh, here we go. Oh, and now we have to stick in dice. Oh! Oh, no! Catch a killer or killer is dead. Wait, two different things? Ooh, decide killer's fate. Oh, that's so strange. Huh. Forget hacking the system, killer has to die. If you can slice the branch connections, the mainframe will shut down, freeing Navigator. Killer's a terrifying blind threat roaming the hub's dark mainframe. A new event is trapped. Well... So we can... I would assume it's like we could loop it into oblivion like we did prior. And that's what that right option is, or just somehow just kill it. Obviously, killer is dead takes less. It's just 3 sections, and then with a positive, it looks like you get 2. But on the other one, it takes 8, and with positive, you get 3. Also, I'm kind of nervous with that in theory writing there. There's the game part of my mind that says like the harder option, which would take more resources, would give us a better outcome. That's what my brain thinks, right? Like if the more if you have presented with 2 options and one seemingly seems a lot easier to pull off, then maybe the other one's the harder, more difficult one to do would be a more interesting outcome or a better outcome. I'm gonna stick a 5 in. I think I'm going to catch the killer. And I got 5 cryo out of it. I need to get food, so I'm gonna work here with a 3. Neutral. +2 energy and 5 cryo. The kelp on the stack is golden brown. As you eat the noodles at the end of the shift, imagine the distant oceans that birthed it. That's getting close. Bend one of the branches like a hazel twig, aligning the flow away from the mainframe and into another branch. That's our last dice for the day. Come on, good dice. 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, Maywick. What is this? Ethan says Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. Oh, we got 3 options. Interesting. Well, the thing is, I definitely would love to disable my tracker. I've been trying to do that since early on, but Fang has kind of left me to dry. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. So now we've got a timer there. We have a lot of sections to it, so it's not... We might be able to disable our tracker before that pops, but I'll keep that in mind. For sure. Let's go finish this thing up here. I will stick a 5 into here. Well, no, I'll stick a 4 in here. I'd assume a neutral outcome would give us 2. So I don't have to waste another dice. I'm hoping. Nice, positive 3. And I got 5 cryo. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed and processed the flow of energy, water, and data, fed the lives of thousands of people. Now, it is finally dead. Navigator's beside you, and you both look out at the perfect ring that encircled you both, woven from the data branches that once fed the mainframe. You see a glint along the edge, and that familiar blade-like head rises to the surface, like the cresting fin of a shark, and then slips into the loop again. All that you can see of Killer's body after that is slight thickening of the loop, and that thickening begins to travel around on a long and slow sojourn that will last it forever. I am surprised at you, says Navigator, drifting faintly around you in a lazy orbit as if to shake off their imprisonment. Killer had been wandering blind for so long. Did you not think to end them forever? I pity them is kind of a good option. Perhaps they can be saved is kind of a good option. And I will not kill another being is also a good option. All these are pretty good as far as a response here, in my opinion. I'm going to say I will not kill another being. But is the killer a being or a system? The question remains. Navigator gazes into the darkness. This place was their domain and prison, and they had followed their directives for the many decades they roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executed its administrator AIs, and then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak, and yet they kept cutting, until only those 3 threads remained from millions that once thrummed here. Only their blindness and chance kept them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this, those that will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. Navigator looks to you for your thoughts. I will not continue the violence. The system you float in is one built to violence. You'd be naive to believe otherwise. Navigator turns away. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There's something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from the central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. This station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge. That sounds like something of value, something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision, a distant curve of something like smoke or oil, a fluid, shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so hunter or killer could never reach it. Now it is closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What system is inside it? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you. And we have now seen that decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we could extract an access cipher, they pause and then blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I'm not used to being free, to being able to move and explore and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. The entities of the station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. Thank you. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit that I not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. But first I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that they drift away, flickering, glowing, then shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy, free, without a body to weigh you down, or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you've celebrated this victory. Let's go. I'm curious, I forget now. Let me see something. Oh, here's... Oh, Sleeper, stay. I'll be ready soon, so we can talk to Inkita next turn. Okay. With Fang's situation up in the air, it might be like just as a backup, start helping Ethan at the bar place. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put a 6 in here to get good outcome. Energy and cryo. 3 energy and 8 cryo. Putting a 6 in there for 3 energy and a little bit of cash is pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, I'll do this. Work the front. Work in the door, taking delivery, staffing the bar. Front work at the compressors, a cocktail, shouted orders, alcohol, and violence. I'll put a 5 in to make it a 6. You and Ethan get put on the bar for a quiet shift and have a pleasant conversation with a customer. Turns out they are a friend of the owner. We're gonna only have 4 dice next turn. Next cycle. I'll put in another 5. It is what it is. And I got energy for Thrill Seeker. That perk ends up being so nice. Just potentially like getting, you know, and it's not rare that it happens either. It's like it happens quite regularly. These offer like pretty good chance that like the bonus effect ends up happening, you know. Now, if I want to use a point, I only have 1 point, it would have to be in one of these. Because I would have to hold for 2 to get one of these, or 3 for this, which seems crazy. Intuit or Endure. Which of these other skills do I like? Do I like self-repair, scrap components at home to repair condition? That actually might be good, because we get random scrap bits, and like as of right now, the only thing we can do with those is sell. But if I get a hold of one of those, and then I can use it to repair condition. Hard to kill is not an ability I think I'm going to need. Like, Endure is probably going to be the skill I care about the least, because hard to kill, unless something weird happens, like, I don't envision going down, but, like, my condition ever getting that low. I'd assume breaking is, like, 1. So then it's saying if you're down to just where you would have 1 dice, you get to keep 2. And I don't plan on getting that bad. Instant karma. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. I'm curious if that means if I've used up dice, do I get to re-roll the ones and then I basically get 2 sets of dice? Probably not. That seems OP. Especially if it's once per cycle. I bet it's basically you re-roll at the start and then it's like, oh, I got really bad numbers. I'm going to try to re-roll it. Agent nodes give double data rewards. This would have been good earlier. You know what I mean? I think. Because I think the agent nodes are what I've been getting, like... It says gives double data rewards. I think, like, all those things I've been doing, like, basically, like, hacking and shit. I think that's what that's talking about. And I've done a lot of that already. So I think I'm basically deciding now between holding for self-repair or picking one of these two. Do I want +1 in endure or into it? I think I'm gonna hold it and try to get self-repair next turn, or next time I upgrade. Yeah. 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 Where the fuck is Fang? I would assume he's got somewhere here, right? What is the item? The grinning penguin says, take me to Tambour. Take me to Tambour. I just assume that's somewhere out here. I imagine he's not in the aviary. I don't know. He doesn't know, though. I don't know. Get her 16 cryo. So that I may buy one of these. Takes chits and hands you a vial, you quickly leave. Alright, we're going back down to 4 dice after this. So here we go. Oh, wait, no. For some reason, I was confused by the Maywick thing. I thought there was another option. I thought it was the repairing option, but I was like, wait, I didn't pick that. I haven't been able to pick it yet, but it's the Maywick thing. Five, 2, 4, 2. Alright, let's talk to my favorite, Tala. Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready, she's grinning from ear to ear. The grill? Girl? Obviously, she grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Tala has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate, where 2 glasses with a few fingers of pale girl inside sit waiting. She smiles. I haven't even tried it yet. You can see she is nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Cheers. she says solemnly, and knocks the glass back. You do the same. The first sensation is burning, a sharp, nose-clearing blast of alcohol, as your frame querying whether you would like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it is only then, behind the burn, that you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood, and the soil, left behind like sediment, barely there. Not bad, actually. Tala raises an eyebrow. You sure? Has promise, though. You think? She swirls the glass and puts it down. Wait, I have an idea. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and adds a few drops of water into the gyro. Try again. This time the burn is a warming glow, harsh but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral in among the marshy decay, something fresh and bright that you never expected to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? It is. Tala grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. I couldn't say anything to possibly upset Tala. Tala pours out some more gyro, and then adds some more water, and the action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down into her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. What's on your mind? Tala looks up, at nothing in particular. My father opened this place, you know, she says out of nowhere, thoughts suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family, when we got to the eye. Your family? My father, my mother, my little brother. She takes a drink. They aren't around now. I'm sorry. That's okay. My parents had long lives, and my brother is somewhere in the starboard belt. Ran off with the salvage crew. She puts her glass down. He's alive, as far as I know. I was just thinking about something my father told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Bantian. But he was a Bantayan? Bantu. But he was afraid it would scare off the customers, so he kind of translated it. Hence, the Overlook. In these past few cycles, when I've been in here, I've been thinking that I should rename the place. She looks at you. The Bantian. What do you think? What does it mean? Dad said he translated it to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe? Lookout? Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Bantian. Bantian. You both clink your glasses and drink up. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still harsh. She laughs, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Oh, sleeper. Totally forgot. She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room, covered with a plastic sheet, and whips it off, like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a neat little kitchen. A sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen. She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come make stuff here anytime, as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the gyro. I was thinking, too, that if things pick up, we could start serving proper food at the the Bantian. She laughs. Do you like it? It's perfect. Tala gives you a hug, then quickly stands back. I'm sorry, I'm so glad you're here. Mi corazón. Tala. Oh, Tala. Me too. As Tala tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through to the bar, and you share a glass of the good gyro, the one she didn't distill. And this time you talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best place to eat on the eye, which, after everything that's happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala and agree to let her know which shifts you'll be working in the coming cycles, and then slip out into the cool of the rotunda. And in this moment, you feel, for once, at home. The Bantian. It's been renamed. Look at that. So I can cook Matsutake caps. So you input one caps. And then something happens. Cook gyro caps. So you still have to... Okay, it's not as helpful as I thought. I thought we were going to have a chance to, like... I don't know what happens when you cook them. I'd assume it's like food. I would assume? Food? Food. Okay, but that gives us a point, so we can use it for self-repair. I'm picking it up, self-repair, picking it up. A 5242. 5242. Fang, where the fuck are you? Putting a 4 in here because we're gonna have to get mushrooms in. Negative outcome, just get 1. The layers of growth are overwhelming and the stench of the rot distressing. You do what you can for now. I'm gonna put a 2 in here as well. Because it's a safe, it's... Yeah. That's fine. Oh, Ankita's ready. Oh shit, I forgot. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. I'm gonna stay silent. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly, I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this when all you have shown me is kindness. She rips her face. I'm sorry. She nods and looks up at the stars. I've never... She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look. She sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if... Lead on. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the sounds more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little. At the threshold, she turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. The smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. I'm gonna follow her in. You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. But it barely touches you. Oh wait, nope, I skipped a line. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the aperture of the tank for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper. The first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. Last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. Seems like she's reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips. The moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Nikita shifts her weight, and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe fresh air. You stand at the green leaves, and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Nikita, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Nikita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo shits into your... Cryo shits. I get shits. It sounds like shits. Some shits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Can I take it? If I just drop them... I can't believe I'm going back. I was about to be like, why wouldn't I take it? But now I'm like, it does kind of feel dirty. The whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna drop them. You open your hand and let the chits fall to the floor. They clunk into the dirt, and she does not pick them up. You turn without saying a word and continue up the track. She does not follow. This is tough. She was nice. As you walk up the rise, and we've worked together now for quite some time. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. You think of those ugly metal bars in the dirt. A life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. I'm so shocked. I just mentioned it, but like, I literally like saw the option where it was like, take it or don't. And I was like, why wouldn't I take it? And then immediately right before, I was hovering over the button. And then I'm like, wait. No, it just feels completely like, in that moment, feels meaningless to like accept that. Ah, this game, man. The bad end. Oh. Tough. Absolutely tough. Alright, I'm gonna use one of these points for this, because Icebreaker I don't really care for at this moment. Holding for +2 on this, probably not needed, although it'd be nice. But having a +1 on these, I think is good. Like, I could see myself picking up both of these and then holding for, like, the +2 here or here. Because +2, again, is good. Especially probably in Engage, because I already get good benefits. I'm gonna do +1 in Endure. Got more energy, but I think I was already full of energy. And then what to do with the 2? What are we feeling? What am I thinking? I gotta try to think of a way to get Feng. Someone else mentioned the name Tambour popped up during someone else's thing too, but I cannot remember For what? It was the other day when we were playing this. And I'm trying to think. I wish I would have remembered. I wish I would have kept it locked to memory. Tambor. I'll put a 2 in here. Neutral outcome, but I got more energy. Damn, I'm so full of energy. I'm not getting those benefits. When I get down to when I would use the stabilizer, I'm going to put in a scrap thing for this and see just how much it repairs. Like, I'd be curious to see how much of the condition I get repaired with 1 scrap. Also, not good dice rolls. 1, 4, 2, 1. Not good dice rolls. Negative outcome. You struggle to keep up with the demand, but another newcomer helps you along and you both make it to the end of service. I'm gonna put in another one. Nice, neutral. How much are we filling that? 3 left? It's another safe option. Neutral +2. You struggle with dried vines and creepers entwined around the structure of the dome, threatening to vent the garden into space. Ethan. Sure. Oh, I lost some energy. The drink order comes in minutes after you do. You spend the time lifting huge boxes into the back. Exhausting. That's fine. Actually, I'm curious enough. I'm gonna put. Let's see. It's just 1. Neutral outcome, minus scrap components plus condition. Work on your own body is an unsettling but necessary act. You can feel the new components under your skin. Yeah. Okay, so it's just 1. It's probably about what I expected. It's not good. It's not like obviously going to take the place of the medicine that you have to buy and use. So I accept that. so we're back to starving. Maywick is still not even a fourth of the way here, so we're fine with that. But again, a pretty bad roll. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. I'm working the stacks. Positive 16. Hey, we take that. Negative outcome, but it's fine because it's safe. I do need energy though. Where's that food here? Yeah. Positive 8 oh, hiccups. 8 cryo and 3 energy. That's really good for using a 2 that became a 3. Now what to do with a 4? What are we feeling on a 4? 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I'll work the front. Oh, lost energy, but then got back energy because of the perk, and then only got 1, I think. It's kind of a wash, sorta, but it kind of went forward, so we're fine. We're fine. Let me see this. How do you unlock the Greenway Gate? Oh, it must be this. Right? Just a guess, actually. Ah! The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? The cipher burns away as it's slotted. The data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The hunter and killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in? The entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. A billion individuals moving in a flow. There's no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them, a figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Whoa, gardener. Whoa, ingrown farm administrator. Whoa. Whoa. They are facing away, at least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. Gardener's seed. A seed. You need to find somewhere safe to plant this gift. Huh. Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. Well, we're working on it. I'm working on it, you'd say. I'm walking here. I think I'm probably gonna need to call it a stream. But I'll go ahead and see our new dice. I'll start the cycle here. Ooh, do I need to? No. No. We'll set another 4 dice. There we go. A 5, 6, 1, 5. Those are some good numbers. That's some good. That's a spicy dice roll. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna use it on anything. We're gonna call it a stream there. Nice long stream that started with the wheel spin. That ended up landing on something. On possibly the funniest possibility that could have been. So we'll continue that game next week. We'll continue this next week. I'm still deciding on DK post-game 100%, what that's going to be like. And then, yeah, you know, in 2 weeks, Silk Song will probably be... I'm leaning towards starting that game probably at release. But I think it released on Thursday, and I don't stream on Thursday, so it'll probably be a, Friday start game on that, but that's 2 weeks from now, so we're fine on that. Probably before that, in a perfect world, I finish this. I finish now started Axiom Verge 2, and in theory finish DK Bonanza, whatever we end up doing with that. In a perfect world, in 2 weeks we finish all 3 of those, and then basically we have nothing on the schedule except for Higurashi, and then Silk Song, and then we determine from there. Tomorrow, I do want to stream. I do have something going on. I think I talked about it. I think it even went down and got scheduled last time we were playing this. I'm going to see K-pop Demon Hunters in theater for a sing-along with a friend, which should be fun, but that means I won't be able to... I'm not going to be streaming at night, and I'm not going to stream when I come back from that either. So... whenever it is I come back from that. So, that happens at night. So, I think, since we haven't read in a while, I think tomorrow's just gonna be chill, like, Higurashi reading for 2 or 3 hours. And that'll probably start early afternoon for a bit. Late morning, early afternoon type stream. We'll read for 2 to 3 hours, call it an easy Saturday, and then we'll be back Sunday with something. I think that's all I have to say. I'm still really enjoying this game. I think this is a really cool setup for a game. I think it's really interesting. I think the writing is really good. I think the characterizations are really good. And just being able to, like, kind of... as opposed to, like, the very beginning of the game, there's not as much, like, frantic, like, oh shit, I'm gonna be breaking down kind of thing. But I think I kind of was wise with my actions early game to now where I kind of feels nice to be able to just kind of like plug away at all these different tasks, you know? It's still juggling, but it's like juggling 2 balls instead of 3. Or it's like juggling, but at the very beginning of the game, I was having to juggle and dodge knives being thrown at me. And now I can just casually juggle as shittily as I can, you know? There's not as much danger. But again, I think I was kind of smart. Honestly, I don't think it was even my doing. I think I kind of lucked into being kind of smart with my, like, early dice rolls and management, everything. And right now, the only timer that's of need is this. So my idea on this on Maywick is I think I'll easily be able to get and work off Ethan's debt before that pops up, with plenty of time left in case something else I have to do with Ethan pops up, right? It might be like a 2 or 3 step thing. I still, in a perfect world, would not have to, you know, narratively, if I didn't have to rely on Ethan to help me, that would be preferred. But he's a decent fallback thing if I need something to protect me from someone coming at me. I'm still narratively not 100% sure that that's 100% truth, or it's not bullshit that Ethan was feeding me. I think that was kind of left to potentially the interpretation. So we're kind of it's almost like false information, like, or unreliable, not narrator, but unreliable, like, NPC, like, is he giving me, you know, there's obviously incentive for Ethan to tell me that I'm in danger and that I need to help him pay off a debt, because narratively he's having a hard time. But again, I don't think it hurts to have that as a fallback plan in case I need something to protect me. But in a perfect world, I pay off his debt, I help him, even though he's a piece of shit. He's there if I need him, but I don't have to rely on him, because before that even pops up, it would be dope if I figure out how to get find Fang, have him disable the tracker. Then we don't even have to rely on Ethan. Because something about relying on Ethan, we've seen now many interactions with, or a few interactions with him, not the most reliable person. If my life is on the line, I don't know if he would be my first person I call, you know? So, there's that. I'm gonna call it there. There's still a little bit left of Saturday night. Have fun with it. Take it easy. Stay safe. Stay well. Do good. Be good. I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, unless something drastically changes in my mind. We're just gonna start more Higurashi reading for a bit. I said that weird bit. And yeah, that'll be tomorrow's stream, and then we'll do something Sunday as my vacation comes to an end. Unfortunate. All right, until tomorrow.